Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Jean here with more Mars anomalies. This time we're on the plains of Chronium on Mars, and we're going to be looking at a vast debris field. The photograph we're analyzing here is called Mantle Contact Area, and as always you can find the original links in the video description below. This photograph was acquired on the 17th of March 2019 at 24.9 centimeters per pixel. 1:1 binning was used, and the anomalies I'm showing you are cropped from the JP2 black and white map projected file. There's a crop from the low-res black and white to give you a context of the area and where I found these anomalies. It's located in this area right here, and at the time of this video the high-rise photograph had not been loaded to Google Earth Mars yet, and you'll check out 3 other regions towards the end of the video. We'll go over to Google Earth Mars and you'll see none of these pegs that I've put in there have associated high-rise images. So I don't know what the delay is on Google's side. This region's located 63 degrees 34 minutes south, 159 degrees 34 minutes east. So we're looking at the southern mid-latitudes. So the first anomaly I found here was this one. Check that out. We've got what looks like a megalithic slab or block, very smooth flat surface. Right next to it another triangular piece with 3 symmetrical and geometrical parts on it. But we're going to look at that, about 12 by 12 meters in size, and there it is up close. Check at the straight edges, very well defined edges, right angles, and then right there in the center of that one side we've got that hole, and next to it a little triangular symbol. Typical rock or boulder? Let me know in the comments below what you guys and girls make of this one. And then we're looking at a couple of these, and that piece is about 14 meters across. And yeah, as usual, in the center we've got a little protrusion or knob, also rounded on the one side, and then 2 straight edges with a right angle over there. Next one, similar in size, also on the top we've got a protrusion or knob. This one's got 4 straight sides, 90-degree angles, very smooth flat surface to it as well. And then this strange oblong narrow piece over there. Get the triangle over here again. So side by side for you to compare, and you can see similar technology was used to create these. There's another one. This is from Epic Destruction in Terra Chimeria, and we've got another block, and on its center we've got that protrusion or knob, also a little triangular part next to the rounded apex. So I've seen lots of those on Mars as well. So I thought I'd throw this in. This is from Neville Thompson's Gigapan, and I'll include the link to this in the video description below. I think Chris from Mars Anomalies and Beyond also might have featured this one if I recall correctly. But check out the protrusion or knob or smaller part on that smooth object over there. So that looks like some type of container. Check that out. But let's zoom in on this one and we can check it out. It's got straight edges to it, right angles, and then a rounded top part over there. Perfectly symmetrical and geometrical. So Curiosity is photographing these in Gale Crater as well now. Very, very interesting. Thanks for that one, Neville. Right, the next anomaly right there, we've got symmetry and geometry going on in that piece again. And each side there is about 8 meters in length. So let's zoom up close, check it out. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides to it. On the top, close to the one edge over here, we've got that rectangular part. So straight edges and check the angles. There's another one. Each side over here is about 10 meters in length, and you can check it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides to it. In the center we've got those smaller parts. This over here looks like a rectangular opening. Look at the straight sides to it as well. And if we draw a center line through this larger piece, we've got symmetry and geometry going on there again. So there they are for you to compare. And guys and girls, there's so many anomalies in this one. I've already uploaded all these images to my blog, so you can go over there as well. I'll include a link to it in the description below at the end of the video as well, so you can go through it at your leisure. And then we've got this piece over here, and I found another one like it. I just couldn't find it in time for this video, but there it is right there. Look how bright it is. That piece is about 15 meters long, and it's got this rounded arc design to it, and in the center over there, that looks like a circular depression with a little dome-like part in the center. Now we've got a rather strange arrangement of objects. The rectangular one over there is about 10 by 12 meters in size, and if you take a close-up look, check it out there. Got straight edges, right angles. Over here to the one side, it seems to be hollowed out. Through the center line there, on top we've got that oval object, and then on the side over here, that looks like a little wing. Don't know what the heck to make of this. It might even be connected to this larger piece. Look at the rounded part coming out of the block over here, and it extends over to the left. And it's also got a perfect rounded arc to that piece over there. Check out the narrow part on top of that. It's almost like an anvil in shape. The flat top there, but check that out. It looks like a pipe. Straight, takes a turn there, and then straight there again. 2 elbow joints. Right, check out that rectangular piece and the small symbol on the top. It looks like a letter I, and that piece is about 14 meters across. With straight edges, smooth flat surface, and then on top what looks like a letter I. And it's not the only one I've found on Mars. There's some others. This is from standing monoliths on foundations and more in Terra Serenum. Also looks like a letter I. And there's another one. Weird craft and structure artifacts found in Kotka. But this looks more like a little outpost. Check out the rectangular base, and we've got an opening there and another one over here to the side. Looks like a little structure. Pure speculation. Right over here, another disc-like object. That one's about 15 meters across. and the dome-like part there in the center is about 3 meters in diameter. So check that out. Perfect arc to it. In the center we've got that dome, and on either side a rounded piece. So symmetry and geometry again. So not only are there blocks and slabs in this one, but also circular round objects. And there's another one. This is another example from Utopia Planitia, and it's dozens of saucer-shaped objects. Check that out. They have this rounded part to the front, a little dome on top, and if you draw a line through there, it also has symmetry and geometry to it, and it's about the same size as well. Check out that multiple-sided object there. That's about 12 meters across, and it's got 1, 2, 3 sides, straight sides to it. It's a rounded part, and it comes up to the middle like a cone, and there I've rotated it for you so you can see the angles a little better, and the rounded part seems to be lying on top of a rectangular block to the top over there, definitely elevated over here on the right. There's another one similar to it. That's about let's see, 12 meters across, and each side there's about 5 meters in length, and we can see 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. Part of here to the bottom left is partially covered in rubble. Also comes up to the center like a cone, but maybe even like a little pyramid. Look at the flat triangular sides over here. So there the two are for you to compare. The straight edges coming up to an apex or peak at the top. And then I thought I'd show you these as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides in this piece. Structures and debris in dune field west of Hellespontus Montes. And this multiple-sided object here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides to it. And a dome-like feature in the center. Part 4, the discs and ruins of Pyramus Fossae. Now we've got a part with a hollowed out hole in the center right there, and that piece is about 12 meters across, and this hole is about, let's see, 3 by 4 meters. Check that out. Looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sides to it, carved out like a little rectangular carved out area right there in its center. Alright, yeah, we've got 3 discs next to one another in that row, and another one on top of this rectangular part there. So that disc is about 12 meters in diameter, and we can see it right there, and it's on top of this rectangular piece there. Look at the strange narrow part in the center over there. Also has symmetry and geometry to it. Maybe even a little craft, who knows? The fuselage there and the 2 wings on either side. So there's a similar type of layout. We've got disc-like objects on top of these rectilinear parts, and this is from Return to Copernicus on Mars. Check out that elliptical disc type object there, and that's also about 12 meters in diameter. Look at the perfect arc again, center line through there, and we've got symmetry and geometry, and in the center it comes up to like a dome-like part there. So there's some others. This is from Ancient Wreckage and Structures East of Ready, Part 1. Get the disc shape, got a dome on top. Also, it's sort of caved in on the back. There's another piece similar to it. This one's more dome shaped. This is from Craft, Pillboxes and Scrap in Ulysses Rupes. And I think it's an area just to the right of where this photograph was taken. We'll have a look at the end in Google Earth Mars. And there's another elliptical disc-shaped object with a little dome on it. And this is from objects aligned geometrically in Argaea Planitia. We're looking at those two discs. This one over here has a diameter of about 10 meters, and on top we've got that smaller round part, and this is like a plectrum pumpkin seed shaped object, and on top also a dome-like feature. And there's another one. This one's about 8 meters in diameter. Look at the object over there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 smaller parts arranged on top of it. Let's look at the disc. So it's about 8 meters across, and it's got this little pyramidal feature in the center. Right, there's another disc. That one's about 5 meters in diameter, and also it has a smaller part in its center. So there they are, side by side for comparison. Okay, yeah, we're looking at this disc. It's about 12 meters in diameter, and only the one side is sticking out. But look at the perfect arc over there. Very smooth, flat surface to it. And next to it, another block with straight edges, right angle around its side, and a dome-like feature in its center. So there's a third block. Okay, there's another disc, just another example, and this is from Strange Circular Objects north of Huxley. Okay, so let's switch over to Mars and go down to the region in question over here, southern mid-latitudes, and it's right here. So just a quick recap. And let's just see, check, there's more of these elliptical objects, and there's the other one. So we've got the same sort of artifacts in this region. Let's just check what's there. Now check, there's that block, another one. A hole in that part there. Check it, that all seems to have been covered, and these slabs or parts on top have been removed, and there's something inside. So let's quickly have a look at these in detail. Another half a disc there. Looks like the top of a vent or a pillbox. Check at that dome-like object there with this ridge, and then in the center we've got that like rectangular part sticking out of it. As well, got a block with a small part in the center and two larger ones on either side. Look at the spacing, and the size of those. I've got a strange oval part lying on that flat base structure. Got a dome, more discs. Look at this piece, looks like it's folded up. It's like a little triangular shape. Another one of these ellipses, and then two parts. Check that out, with two small parts or protrusions on top. Let's see what else we've got here. Oh yeah, that's where we've got these strange like little pyramids or ziggurat designs, and also featured some of those in a previous video that were found in Antarctica. Very similar to these. I think these are about 80 meters long, if I can recall correctly. It's a very poor quality photograph, that, from NASA. There's another one of these ellipses. Looks like a metal plate. That as well. Check there. Another piece. 1, 2, 3, 4 sides to that one. Another block with a protrusion or knob in its center. Another multiple sided object there, very similar to that one. This area is littered with anomalies. So if you're thinking of doing anomaly hunting, guys and girls, I think start here in this region. It's called, let's quickly see where the marker is. Chronius Mons is in this region. Thales Rupes, Planum Chronium, and it's close to where the Mars 3 lander from the USSR touched down. So let's check out these things. This is where we found a huge wheel. Looks almost like a radioactive symbol on it over there. And there's also another wheel here. My friend Saturn Arc found these two. Check that out. Got like a wheel, and we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pointed star on the one side. Check out this structure. Also, if you draw a line through there, we've got symmetry and geometry. These two pieces sticking out on either side have the same angle, and then like an arch over there. I wonder if this is some type of structure. An opening there and there. But look at that, it's like welcome home. You can come in right here. These two walls on either side. Very interesting. And there we've got what looks like a container with this disc sticking out of the one side. Get that wreckage over there. Looks like ripped up metal pieces. And then get the alignment of those smaller dome-like parts there, enclosed in that circular structure. Those two parts with these small domes on them. Lots of these discs. Another one of those three-part objects, but the two larger pieces separating line, and in the center a small part. Also featured a ton of those as well. Look at this strange thing. It looks like some type of shell or shelled creature with like a little tongue or something sticking out there in front. I find the alignment of these protrusions or knobs fascinating, like the spacing between them and the size of them as well. And the patterns, there's 3 in a triangular pattern. Look at this strange part. Found another piece like this as well. I featured that in remnants of an ancient civilization in Mars. You can see the other 2 that I found that look very similar to this. That like a Stonehenge, but that circular pattern around that bright part. Hollowed out area there with the little sphere in the center. That's about 1 meter in diameter, that little round part. Okay, one more site. Another triangular pattern there. Okay, let's just check out one last site. Look at this. It's going to take the whole day to go through these, guys and girls. Got that rectangular part there and there, and pointing across the diagonal, we've got 2 parts. One of those eclipse type designs. Those 2 UFOs. This one looks as if it's parked in a banged up hangar entrance there. Check out the rectangular carved out area there. Looks like a little opening. And then in line with this, we've got that small part there. It's like geometry again. Oh yes, this is a photograph that NASA actually calls an Inca city on Mars. The strange S-shaped design to that part, and a cross in the surface. And got these strange rectilinear structures. These things are massive. I can't remember. I think this is like 500 meters across, each one of these squares. And reminds me of rice paddies here on Earth. To get that, it looks like plant life. Not that it is. And then there's a multitude of these things that NASA calls spiders. And they look like trees as photographed from above. We can carry on for hours looking at the artifacts in the southern hemisphere of Mars. A lot more there than in the northern hemisphere. The northern hemisphere is a lot smoother, and it's at a lower elevation than the southern hemisphere. It looks as if something, there was a catastrophe, maybe hit the North Pole or North Polar regions flattened that area, and everything was like ejected up into the Martian atmosphere and landed down in the southern mid-latitudes. That's what it looks like, guys and girls. So thanks for watching this one. Do share, like and subscribe, and remember to hit the notifications bell and click on all, just to make sure that you'll be notified when I upload part 2. Appreciate your viewership, and to those that have subscribed, I appreciate it a ton, guys and girls. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.